Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone's words or actions made your blood boil? Where you felt an overwhelming urge to respond immediately, only to regret it later? We've all been there. But what if there was a way to break free from this cycle of reactivity? What if the key to personal growth and better relationships was simply not reacting at all? Today, we're diving deep into the power of not reacting and why the best reaction is often no reaction at all. This isn't about being passive or letting others walk all over you. It's about taking control of your responses and choosing a path that leads to greater peace, understanding, and personal power. Let's start by looking at the cost of instant reactions. When we react without thinking, we often say or do things we later wish we could take back. These quick reactions can damage our relationships, hurt our reputation, and leave us feeling regretful and stressed. They can escalate conflicts, create misunderstandings, and even lead to long-term problems in our personal and professional lives. Think about the last time you reacted quickly to something that upset you. How did it turn out? Chances are, it didn't solve the problem and might have even made things worse. That's because when we react instantly, we're often operating from a place of emotion rather than reason. We're not giving ourselves the time to process the situation fully or consider the best course of action. But here's the good news, we have the power to change this pattern. By learning to pause and choose our responses carefully, we can avoid the pitfalls of reactivity and create better outcomes for ourselves and those around us. To start this process, it's crucial to understand our triggers. Triggers are the things that set us off, the words, actions, or situations that make us want to react immediately. They're different for everyone, but common triggers include feeling disrespected, criticized, or ignored. By identifying our personal triggers, we can start to recognize the moments when we're most likely to react without thinking. Take a moment to reflect on your own triggers. What situations tend to make you react quickly? Is it when someone cuts you off in traffic? When a coworker takes credit for your work? When a family member makes a critical comment? By becoming aware of these triggers, you're taking the first step towards changing your reactive patterns. Once we're aware of our triggers, we can start to implement the pause technique. This is a simple but powerful tool that can completely change the way we respond to challenging situations. The pause technique is exactly what it sounds like. When you feel triggered, instead of reacting immediately, you pause. During this pause, take a deep breath. Count to 5 if it helps. Give yourself a moment to let the initial surge of emotion pass. This brief pause can make all the difference in how you respond. It gives you time to think, to consider the situation more objectively, and to choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. The benefits of not reacting are numerous and far-reaching. When we learn to pause and respond thoughtfully, we improve our relationships. We're less likely to say hurtful things in the heat of the moment or make decisions we'll later regret. This leads to stronger, more positive connections with others. Not reacting also enhances our decision-making abilities. When we're not caught up in the immediate emotional response, we can think more clearly and make choices that are in our best interest long-term. This skill is invaluable in both personal and professional settings. Another significant benefit is increased inner peace. When we're not constantly reacting to every little thing, we experience less stress and anxiety. We're no longer at the mercy of our emotions or other people's actions. This sense of calm and control can dramatically improve our overall well-being. Moreover, non-reaction improves our problem-solving skills. Instead of getting caught up in emotional responses, we can approach challenges with a clear mind. This allows us to see solutions that might not be apparent when we're in a reactive state. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in developing the ability to not react. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we become more aware of our reactive tendencies and better able to choose our responses consciously. There are simple mindfulness exercises you can try to develop this skill. One is to take a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of breathing in and out. When thoughts come up, acknowledge them without judgment and gently return your focus to your breath. This practice helps train your mind to stay present and calm, even when faced with challenging situations. Another aspect of non-reaction is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as recognize and influence the emotions of others. When we don't react immediately, we're giving ourselves the opportunity to engage our emotional intelligence. By pausing and choosing our response, we're demonstrating a high level of emotional intelligence. We're showing that we can manage our emotions effectively and respond in a way that's appropriate to the situation. This skill is highly valued in personal relationships and professional settings alike. Developing emotional intelligence through non-reaction can lead to better communication, improved leadership skills, and more satisfying relationships. It allows us to navigate complex social situations with grace and wisdom, rather than being driven by knee-jerk emotional responses. Now that we understand the importance of not reacting, let's look at some practical tips for putting this into practice. One of the most effective techniques is conscious breathing. When you feel triggered, take a deep breath. Focus on the sensation of the air moving in and out of your lungs. This simple act can help calm your nervous system and give you the space to respond thoughtfully. Mental reframing is another powerful tool. When faced with a triggering situation, try to look at it from a different perspective. Ask yourself, is there another way to interpret this? What might be going on for the other person? This shift in perspective can often diffuse your reactive impulse and lead to a more constructive response. Physical grounding exercises can also be helpful. If you feel yourself getting worked up, try focusing on your physical sensations. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the texture of your clothing against your skin. These simple actions can help bring you back to the present moment and out of a reactive state. One of the biggest challenges in practicing non-reaction is dealing with difficult people. We all encounter individuals who seem to know exactly how to push our buttons. In these situations, it's especially important to remember the power of not reacting. When faced with a difficult person, remind yourself that their behavior is about them, not you. Their actions or words don't define you, and you don't have to let them control your emotional state. By choosing not to react, you're maintaining your power and dignity. Instead of reacting to their provocations, try responding with calm curiosity. Ask questions to understand their perspective better. This approach can often de-escalate tense situations and lead to more productive interactions. Remember, choosing not to react doesn't mean you're weak or letting someone get away with bad behavior. On the contrary, it shows tremendous strength and self-control. You're choosing to respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals, rather than letting someone else's behavior dictate your actions. One of the most empowering aspects of not reacting is the realization that we have a choice in how we respond to any given situation. This is a fundamental shift in perspective that can dramatically improve our quality of life. When we react instantly, we're often operating on autopilot, letting our conditioned responses take over. But when we pause and choose our response, we're exercising our freedom to shape our own experiences. We're no longer victims of circumstance, but active participants in creating our reality. This power of choice extends to every area of our lives. We can choose how we respond to criticism, to setbacks, to success, to change. By consciously selecting our responses, we can steer our lives in the direction we want to go, rather than being blown about by the winds of external circumstances. Of course, changing our reactive patterns isn't easy. It's a process that requires patience, practice, and persistence. Building new habits takes time, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Start small. Choose one trigger or one type of situation where you typically react quickly. Practice pausing and choosing your response in these moments. As you get more comfortable with this new approach, you can gradually expand it to other areas of your life. Remember, progress isn't always linear. There will be times when you slip back into old reactive patterns. That's okay. The important thing is to recognize when this happens and recommit to your practice of non-reaction. Each time you choose not to react, you're strengthening this new habit and rewiring your brain for greater calm and control. It's also important to be kind to yourself in this process. Learning to not react is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time to master. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they might seem. And when you do react in ways you later regret, use it as a learning opportunity rather than beating yourself up about it. As you continue to practice non-reaction, you'll likely encounter setbacks. There will be times when you react despite your best intentions. This is a normal part of the process and doesn't mean you're failing. When you experience a setback, take some time to reflect on what happened. What was the trigger? How did you feel in the moment? What could you do differently next time? Use these experiences as opportunities for learning and growth. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's progress. Each time you catch yourself reacting and make a different choice, you're strengthening your ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. One of the most powerful motivations for practicing non-reaction is understanding its ripple effect. When we choose not to react, we are not just affecting ourselves, we are positively impacting those around us as well. Think about how differently a conversation unfolds when one person chooses not to react to a provocative statement. Instead of escalating into an argument, the interaction has the potential to become a thoughtful discussion. This can lead to better understanding, stronger relationships, and more effective problem solving. On a broader scale, imagine a world where more people practice non-reaction. Conflicts would be less likely to escalate. Misunderstandings could be cleared up more easily. People would feel safer expressing their views and listening to others. The potential for positive change is enormous. By choosing not to react, you're not just improving your own life, you're contributing to a more thoughtful, compassionate, and peaceful world. Your choice to pause and respond thoughtfully can inspire others to do the same, creating a positive cycle of more mindful interactions. As we wrap up our exploration of the power of not reacting, let's recap the key points we've covered. We've learned that instant reactions often lead to regret and can damage our relationships and well-being. We've discovered the importance of understanding our triggers and implementing the pause technique. We've explored the numerous benefits of non-reaction, including improved relationships, better decision-making, increased inner peace, and enhanced problem-solving skills. We've seen how mindfulness and emotional intelligence play crucial roles in developing this skill. We've looked at practical strategies for not reacting, including breathing techniques, mental reframing, and physical grounding exercises. We've discussed how to handle difficult people and situations using the power of non-reaction. Most importantly, we've recognized the profound power we hold in choosing our responses. By not reacting, we're taking control of our lives and actively shaping our experiences. Now, it's time for action. I encourage you to start implementing these ideas in your daily life. Begin by identifying one area where you tend to react quickly. Practice pausing and choosing your response in these situations. Notice how it feels to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Remember, this is a journey. It takes time and practice to change ingrained patterns of behavior. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small it might seem. As you continue to practice non-reaction, you'll likely notice positive changes in your life. Your relationships may improve. You might feel calmer and more in control. You may find yourself better able to handle challenging situations. But beyond these personal benefits, remember that your choice not to react has the power to positively impact those around you. By choosing thoughtful responses over knee-jerk reactions, you're contributing to a more understanding and peaceful world. So, the next time you feel that urge to react immediately, pause. Take a breath. Remember the power you hold in that moment of choice. And choose wisely. Because sometimes, the most powerful reaction is no reaction at all. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the power of not reacting. I hope you found it valuable and that it inspires you to approach life's challenges with greater mindfulness and intention. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to choose your response. Make it count.